Sarah Friedland is an up-and-coming video artist, a filmmaker, and she just won the Lion of the Future award in Venice, Italy at the film festival there. And she used the platform when she received the prize to issue a raging anti-Israel diatribe as a Jew. Here's my reaction to her words.
All right, folks, here on the Yishai Fleischer TV channel, we try to promote the light of Israel, the strength of Israel, the Jewish people's return to the land of Israel. And there's many anti-Israel narratives out there. They say that TikTok shows 100 to 1, maybe even 1,000 to 1 anti-Israel stuff compared to pro-Israel stuff. So there's a lot of narratives out there, and you see it on CNN and the New York Times, and it hurts, right? Because we're trying to push out a strong narrative of Jewish people returning to the land of Israel, that the land is ours, and that the future will be better for this whole region if indeed the Jewish people will thrive in their land as cousins here in the Middle East of the Arab peoples. And it mentions it in the Quran and in the Christian text, and certainly in the Torah and the Bible, that the Jewish people are from this land, and the world recognized Israel belonging to the Jewish people because of our connection and history to this land. So it's hurtful and painful when you have anti-Israel Jews getting up there on the world stage and dissing the story of Israel. It's hurtful. It's painful. And an example of that happened recently when this film director and movie maker, Sarah, got up there in front of the Venice Film Awards, and she completely reneged on the whole thing that is the Jewish state. I mean, she just dissed it completely. We're going to watch that video, and we're going to try to understand where she's coming from. Her first phrase, though, I'm going to already explain it right now. Her first phrase is she says that she's an as a Jew. And my good friend and famous actor Michael Rappaport has talked a lot about this, which is these people that get up there and they're like, I'm an as a Jew. I'm not a Jew. I'm an as a Jew, but as a Jew comes with it the but, comes with it the anti, comes with it that because I'm Jewish and I'm ostensibly, I have the right to diss Israel because it's supposedly mine in some way. As a Jew, here I come to smash it. I'm just kind of putting on the cloak of Jewish in order to do anti-Jewish stuff. So let's get through it. Listen, the clip is only 40 seconds, but she packs a lot in that time. Actually, before I get to the clip itself, I want you to look on my screen there. I want you to look at the screen and see where I picked out this clip. It's from TRT World. TRT World is Turkish television. It's extremely anti-Israel and basically calls for Israel's destruction. I've been on TRT World. I know the folks there, and I'm telling you, they're highly anti-Israel. Point being is that they're using this clip as theirs, their as a Jew moment, where they're going to be like, okay, we're going to take this Jewish person who's going to diss Israel. Now we're going to be able to say, look, even Sarah the Jew thinks that Israel is a racist, apartheidist, occupier, colonialist, all these words. You see, even this Jewish person. So the damage is, of course, great. And look who's using this. It's none other but the enemies of Israel. So let's take a look as she gets up on stage and disses her peoplehood and her national heritage and the land of Israel. Let's see how that plays out.
As a Jewish American artist working in a time-based medium, I must note I'm accepting this award on the 336th day of Israel's genocide in Gaza.
Israel's genocide in Gaza is the language she picked out. She's receiving the word during the genocide. Now, even the people who think that Israel is doing a horrible thing in Gaza, the word genocide is a very tricky word to use because everybody knows that even the numbers of Hamas and the PA say that there's 40,000 Arabs killed. Everybody agrees that at least a quarter, if not half, are combatants that are actually terrorists that are trying to destroy Israelis. So there's really no genocide. There's millions of Arabs living in Israel, millions of Arabs in Judea and Samaria, the so-called West Bank, and millions in Gaza. So there's a war, there's carnage, but there is no genocide. Even the folks at the ICJ's, International Court of Justice, they too felt that they could not use the word genocide because if they did, it would make them look stupid because then be like, well, there's not really a genocide. There's no genocide. But Sarah, as a Jew, is going to say that this is the 336th week of Israel's genocide. She also fails to mention that Israel gave away the chunk of land called Gaza to the Gazans, who promptly elected Hamas, who took international funds and built a whole war machine to try to destroy Israel, attacked the Jewish people with a horrific, inhuman carnage on October the 7th, and Israel was forced to fight back. She feels that it's important to only say that Israel is doing a genocide. Her, as a Jewness, how should I say, is misplaced. The Jewish people have a Jewish state in order to defend ourselves from genocide, one that much of the Arab world wanted to perpetrate in 1948, 1956, 1967, 1973, and on and on and on. And even this appearance on TRT World itself would love to see the destruction and end of Israel and the genocide of the Jews. But okay, she is that's where she's at. But the next part is the most telling of them all.
And 76 year of occupation.
So she's receiving the award on the 76th year of Israeli occupation. Wait a minute. 76 years is since 1948, Israel's independence. So what she means to say is the occupation of Arab lands, according to her, starts in 1948. This is total pro-Pali talking points, that the occupation, the illegitimacy of Israel is from its inception. So her first words are to say, listen, there's a war in Gaza, Israel is committing a genocide. So it's an illegitimate state. But the illegitimacy is not from the occupation of 1967, the Six-Day War of Judea and Samaria and Gaza. No, the occupation is from the very inception of the Jewish state in 1948. She's saying in words that would not play so well out there, which is, I don't think that there's anything legitimate about the Jewish state whatsoever. And that is a powerful hint into how she's thinking about this and where this person, the level that this person has gotten to being anti-Israel.
I believe it is our responsibility as film workers to use the institutional platforms through which we work to redress Israel's impunity on the global stage.
Impunity on the global stage, a tiny Jewish state trying to defend its national peoplehood, a minority in this region, not unlike Kurdistan and other such small minority defensive countries. That's the impunity on the global stage. The jihad wants to wipe out Israel. Hamas is an Iranian-paid proxy. They call for the destruction of Israel. And Israel's self-defense is impunity on the global stage. Trying to survive is impunity. I would say that a Jewish person getting up there and giving an as a Jew speech and giving the anti-Semites so much fodder, that is impunity on the global stage. Do you see that? She's saying Israel's impunity on the global stage, and yet that's exactly what she is. She is impunity on the global stage, backstabbing her people, disrespecting her heritage, using her heritage to disrespect her heritage. And the saddest part is coming up.
I stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine in their struggle for liberation.
So we understand that her struggle for Palestine's liberation is for the destruction of Israel in toto. And this is what's so sad to me. What's so sad is that Sarah doesn't know it, but she's a spokesman for the most illiberal forces in this world. She's a spokesman for the jihad. She's a spokeswoman for Iran. She's a spokeswoman for people who subdue others with such cruelty. And when I'm talking about others, I'm talking about not Jews, which we know they hate, but Arabs. Arabs who want a decent life. Have you seen some of the videos of the horrific beatings that Hamas folks mete out to folks who don't agree with them? The food theft, the use of civilians as human shields. These are people that have no contact at all with liberalism or progressivism. And yet Sarah, as a Jew, gets up there and she's saying that she stands with the Palestinian people. And what she doesn't understand is she's not standing with the Palestinian people. She's standing with the jihad that wants to subdue and suppress Arabs, Israelis, Americans, and women, anybody, Christians, anybody who doesn't agree with them. And that's what's so sad about it, really, to me, is that she doesn't even know that she thinks that she's courageously stabbing her heritage in the back for the sake of truth. Let me put back on the screen a little more fun image. But that's an image, by the way, of Jewish girls. Jewish ladies, look at that image on my screen there, of young Jewish girls at the Western Wall wearing the flag of Israel with pride. I feel bad for Sarah. I mean, on the one hand, of course, I'm angry and I'm embarrassed. But on the other hand, I feel bad for her. She probably never heard about the great history of the Jewish people in this land. She never heard that there was 2 temples in Jerusalem. She never heard that the Jewish people have always lived in this land and pined away for this land. She never heard that there really was no Palestine. She never heard that really the Jewish people and the Arabs are related, and that a small Jewish state makes a lot of sense amongst many Arab states, that it's a protectorate. And yet we can get along like the Abraham Accords, but it comes through Jewish strength. She never understood these things. And as a Jew, she wants to wipe out the state of Israel, and she says it with impudence on the global stage. It's sad. Revenge shall come in the form, with the help of God, of, I hope that she gets married and has a lot of children. You know, she's Jewish. She's going to have Jewish children. And I hope that those children become great Zionists, great lovers of the land of Israel. Bring her back to a little bit of Judaism. The Bible says sometimes that children bring back the previous generation. I hope that they bring her back. I hope that her son puts on tefillin and that her daughter lights Shabbat candles and that they yearn for Jerusalem, that they move to Jerusalem into the land of Israel and help build it up. Help build up the Gaza envelope and Gaza itself. Help build up the north of Israel and push back against jihadism, which their mother sadly became a spokesman for. I'm going to pray for Sarah, for her to have a change of heart and a change of mind. She's obviously a passionate and talented person, but she got swept up in the wrong way of thinking, which is, in the end, so sadly not progressive or liberal at all, but rather is just I hate to use this word, but she's a useful idiot in the hands of jihadists who would use her speech to legitimize the murder of Jews and the suppression of Arabs and the suppression of this whole region and really the suppression of the globe. Sarah, sadly, at this point in your life, you're on the wrong side of history. Bezrat Hashem, with the help of God, we will continue to be on the right side of history. The Jewish people live, and we shall not be stopped. The return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel is miraculous, beautiful, and organic. It's historic. It's right. And there is a light and a strength that's emanating from here, and no amount of darkness, even from a talented filmmaker using her as a Jew credentials in Venice to diss the Jewish state, it's not going to stop the progress forward. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. God is with us. I'm Israel Chai. Please write me an email, yishai@yishaifleischer.com, if you want to discuss this further or have any comments. And, of course, subscribe to our various channels, including on YouTube, Yishai Fleischer TV. God bless you. Stay strong, stay connected, stay part of the story, and shalom.